And welcome in this video where we're gonna break down 4 biggest mistakes in building your SaaS. And you should definitely watch this before it's gonna be too late, because you're gonna learn why this is so crucial and important. If you're new to this channel, my name is Fran, and on this channel we talk everything about SaaS, starting your own SaaS business, problems, and even the good things about it. So before you dive deep into building one, let me show you the 4 biggest mistakes that I see from my clients when they're building their first SaaS. So this type of videos that you see here is just unedited raw content, but we're gonna show everything in example on one of the apps that we are currently building. So let's start with the first thing that I talked numerous times about. And the first thing is the idea validation. I don't want to spend a lot of time here, because if you're trying to build a SaaS, you want to make sure that your idea is actually validated by the market, and you don't want to build something that actually no one actually needs and no one is going to use. So make sure before you start investing money or time to build something like that, that you are actually have an idea that market needs and that you are genuinely validated it. I made numerous videos about idea validation, what's the best way to validate the idea, how you can actually validate idea using AI and no code, where I'm gonna put a link somewhere here, so you can actually watch that and understand what's the best way to validate the idea and make sure that you're building something that's actually something that the market needs. I can't even stress enough how many times clients come on a calls with us and we tell them that market actually don't need idea like that, and that we potentially build a similar idea like a month ago. So make sure that you definitely confirm with experts or with your market that what you're trying to build and what you're putting your resources and time in is actually validated. So that's number 1. Number 2 is loads of functionalities. I see a lot of people trying to build software as a service, and they come on a call with us and they say, hey Fran, I have this amazing idea, I want this functionality, I want that functionality, I want that. And the more functionality you add, the more your bill goes up when you're trying to build this with a certified developer agency like us, and you're constantly adding and piling more functionalities. And then when we meet again on a meeting and I tell you the quote, you gasp and you say, oh, I didn't expect it's gonna be that expensive. And the reason behind it is because you're constantly adding new functionalities. Even if you're gonna be building an app yourself, you need to understand that every new functionality is like completely different app, because like I'm going to show you an example here. So here you have a tool that we built called Dashflow, and here on this screen you can see literally all the functionalities. Here are, you can see like you have dashboard, projects and team, performance, team chat, client portal, boards, resources. It's an app for marketing agencies. And when we launched the app, we had maybe, I would say, 1/3 of the current functionalities we have right now. Why we didn't want to launch our app with all those functionalities that you see here on the screen is because I wanted to get the feedback of the actual users. So why would I invest so much money, resources and time to build a lot of functionalities that people don't actually need or people don't actually want to use? So what we did instead for this app particularly, we built less functionalities, less features, and we let the users tell us what they need or what they don't need. So when a user came down to us and said like, hey, we want boards, we said, okay, great. We're going to create a board section where you can have your Miro board inside of this app, which we did. But we didn't build this upfront before a client told us and the users told to a client that they need something like that, because it would cost a lot of time, a lot of money, and we didn't even know if the users actually need that. So now the users of this app can go on a like Miro lookalike board, and they can write stuff, basically add all the features. It's done. They have it. They can use it right now. But we didn't want to do it before the users actually told us what they need. So don't overload yourself, or don't overload your workload, or don't try to basically add as more functionalities as possible thinking that's gonna sell your product better and sell your SaaS better. Keep in mind that people usually subscribe to software as a service or a tool trying to solve just one unique problem. So keep the one functionality as the main functionality, and all the rest is easy add-on. You can always add new features, you can always add new functionalities. So that's number 2. The number 3 goes back to everything I was explaining in the second, if you do a lot of functionalities, it's gonna probably look like a poor DIY. What I mean by that is that people think that Bubble is a simple way to build apps, which is not. It's not a Wix. You can't just go in there and try to build some apps. It's not how it works. So you need to understand that poor DIY goes to the people that try to put something together by themselves. They're trying to, I don't know, do this thinking they're going to save time or save money or save resources. And they end up with a poor built app. And no one wants to use poor built app when the market is so advanced and people that are paying for tools are expecting the top-notch premium quality. So when it comes down to poor DIY, what I mean especially by that, if we go in Bubble Editor, like you have like breakdown of elements tree that looks absolutely awful. On this app here, you can see that just on basically building a dashboard, we have everything organized. So you see, we name everything side menu, hub container, it says branding plus search, then you have containers as well, dashboard, everything's organized and split to basically know where everything should fit. If you go on index page, for example, if you go on index page, just for the simple sign up button, you have basically everything named and renamed in the way that everyone can understand what's going on. By poor DIY, I also mean poor database structure. The databases of some apps that we worked on look absolutely awful. You can't do anything with a poorly structured database, because that means if you have a poorly structured database, you're not looking to get a lot of users, you're not looking to actually make money from this, and you're not looking to build the right product for your market, and there is going to create an absolute mess when the users start using your app. Currently in this, we just have an all users database, but if we go on other apps, there's a like extensive database usage. If I'm gonna show some of that right now while we're doing this, you'll see the database structure needs to be really up to date and needs to make sure that everything is perfectly smooth. I'm gonna go in editor of Dashflow to show you like how a good database structure looks like, because especially for Dashflow app, we need to use a lot of constraints, we need to use a lot of matching company IDs, users IDs, and all that good stuff. And if you go in the database of Dashflow, you'll see that everything has its own place, everything is explained in detail. So you have like chat channel, chat messages, clients resources, clients portals, company customer drawings, Facebook marketing, etc., etc. It goes on and on and on. This is an extensive database with a lot of data, and we want to make sure that that extensive database with a lot of data actually makes sense and it connects with the constraints, because we're using all of those constraints to actually showcase your app and showcase your idea. And if you're a complete newbie and you're just trying to basically figure something out by yourself, you're gonna have a big problem when you have, for example, situations where we have to basically put a repeating group on 12 plus conditionals in order to showcase what the client actually wants, just to basically show some easy features. We're gonna wait for it to load. Brilliant. So if we go on just this repeating group, let me just open it in the elements tree, and I'm gonna show this while we are on this video. Stay with me for a second. Let me just pile it up. Where is it? Okay, repeating group. If we go on this repeating group has 12 conditionals. So all of that needs to basically be searched inside of the database. So when I'm trying to search for something, I need to say, hey, search for this exact references and constraints. I need to give a lot of input in the conditional side in order for Bubble to be able to find that data inside of the database. If you're just starting out, it's hard for you to figure out what's the perfect database structure, and when it comes down to this complex constraints, you lose the functionality of the app. You have no one to ask for advice, and you're left alone with this whole mess, and you then realize it's time to ask for help. But when the time hits, you go to an agency, and once they see a database like that, or you come to software development company with that sort of database, no one is going to take you in. So take in consideration to fix those problems before they start. Same thing goes with responsiveness and paying attention that everything actually have their own place inside of the whole situation. That is going to lead us to the problem number 4, which is building it yourself, not having a team. I know what you're probably thinking right now. Oh yes, Fran, you're running Softify. Of course, you're gonna try to plug yourself into, which is wrong. I'm not. We have enough currently customers and enough projects that we are working on that I don't have to tell you to come basically work with us. Even though the doors are always open, and we will be more than happy to grab a chat about your idea and understand how to turn your idea into a reality, which I'm going to mention at the end of this video. But the point is that usually we end up working with people that build softwares by themselves. They go on Bubble and they say, it's a no code, I don't have to code, I know how to build it myself. Keep in mind that for Softify, we have developers that have extensive knowledge working in hard code, meaning Java, Node, all of that stuff, in order to understand Bubble. Bubble is definitely everything except being easy to build apps on. So we have people that spend months and months trying to figure it out on their own. They try to save money to build the app for themselves. And eventually, after 5-6 months of absolute nerve-wracking experience, they say, I'm giving up. I need a professional to build this out for me. And then when they come to us, we understand we need to go basically from scratch. It's hard to save something that is completely messed up. And sometimes it even makes it more sense for us to start fresh, because we're gonna save client more time than basically trying to understand what he did. Not having a team. I have another video where I explained what's the difference between a freelancer or someone that's building an app for basically on his own, and having a full stack team that is gonna help to build that app. If you're trying to build an MVP or a SaaS that potentially can change the way your market works and you're planning to make a lot of money from it, you don't really want to do it DIY it yourself. You want to have experienced people that have extensive knowledge how to build tools like that to build that app for you. And trust me, I swear on my mother's name, you're gonna save more money and time if you hire a professional to do that. There was like the amount of time I seen people spend to build simple apps we can build in 2 to 3 weeks, trying to save money, trying to learn Bubble on his own. It's insane. Usually what I always suggest to business owners is I always tell them you need to learn one of two things. You either need to learn how to pay or you need to learn how to develop. There is no difference, because if you're not a developer and you're like, let's say your business is in like mortgage space, you should stick what you are good at. Give us to do the development. You're good at mortgages. You make a lot of money from that. And give us to actually, at the end of the day, build the app. Because you'll see, we're gonna not only save the money, but we're gonna, at the end of the day, help you build it faster. So those are the 4 mistakes I see from my own personal clients. Those are the mistakes I see in the overall community. And it comes down to those 4 biggest mistakes. Basically, thinking that you're gonna save money by doing it yourself, then doing the poor DIY, then understanding that you don't have a team to ask for advice. You try to put a lot of functionalities, which at the end of the day cost you a lot of money or a lot of time. And worst thing, that some people even start building without any idea validation. So try to avoid those 4 things. Try to understand where you currently with building your SaaS and what's the next smartest thing to do. If you want more advice on this topic and you want more advice, you feel lost, you feel stuck, you don't know what to do with your app, you don't know how to proceed forward, you're gonna find a link to book a call directly with me, and I'm gonna go on a call with you and we're gonna discuss how we can help you out to turn your idea into reality. Have you really messed up and you did a poor DIY, and is it on us to build everything from scratch? But at the end of the day, I will definitely encourage anyone watching this video feeling lost or trying to turn their idea into a reality and genuinely put some money and time to actually build a software like this, to go on the link below and book a call with Softify. I'm gonna join the call personally. You're gonna grab chat with me, and that's literally it. Don't make the 4 mistakes I highlighted here. I hope you liked the video. I'm more than open to discuss things in the comment section. And if you liked it, press like and subscribe. I really appreciate everyone watching these videos, subscribing to the channel. It really gives me a motivation as someone who's really busy building a lot of projects to actually take 15-20 minutes of my time to sit down and record a video and help out the community. So I really appreciate every comment, every like, and every subscribe. And that's it. Check out the other videos I mentioned for the idea validation and should you hire a company or a developer to build your SaaS. And we're gonna see each other into the next one. Enjoy.